Yo, what's going on, my people? Welcome back to the LIFTT Capital YouTube channel, where life is for the taking. Now, this video is going to be explaining and examining a significant update in global finance. As of today, December 19, 2025, SWIFT, connecting over 11,500 different institutions across more than 200 countries, is advancing its blockchain-based shared ledger with over 30 banks and ConsenSys technology. If you guys know anything about ConsenSys, it was the precursor of Ethereum in its support. This support tokenized assets like stablecoins, central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, and tokenized deposits, enabling real-time cross-border payments alongside what? Existing systems. Folks, that's what this is all about, interoperability. You see, this all really represents thoughtful integration of blockchain into traditional finance. And as you guys know, LIFTT Capital, that's what we are all about. So if you guys really know anything about tokenized assets, real world assets over here on this side, it's what we want you guys to understand for the next phase of this future. Now, the ledger itself is going to be prioritizing regulated tokenized value. Okay. Enhanced interoperability, enhanced efficiency. That's really a core element of this channel, and as well a core element in direct alignment with ISO 20022, that messaging standard, which became, of course, mandatory last month for key cross-border instructions. Guys, you understand the reason why LIFTT Capital just had to really come back is because we already have it right here on the table that it's all for us. And it must be reminded and understood that the reason why this channel stands behind ISO 20022 and that standard is because what it's going to be providing the world is richer data and smoother connections. You see, Ripple, Stellar, XDC, Algo, IOTA, they're infrastructures that have what's called APIs or interfaces, gateways, if you will, that support the workflows of ISO 20022. And you guys can see ISO TC 307 and SWIFT. All those workflows are really going to be bridging legacy systems with the blockchain system. That's why, of course, you want to hit, of course, the subscribe button. You want to really tune into this channel, because that's why we really want everyone to understand that these alignments are going to be benefiting each and every one of these networks, because you're going to be having cross-border transfers. You're going to be having, again, like we were saying, folks, CBDCs getting involved in real world asset tokenization in a real way. So again, moving forward and really talking to the XRP holders, we all know that the XRP ledger excels in efficient settlements. You see, we've been seeing so much progress come in with the regulators that partnerships are already strengthening its position through SWIFT's regulated focus. So already it's kind of adding a bit of competition, but you've already had SWIFT working with the XRPL, with Ripple, suggesting that you already have interoperability potential already, which validates XRP's bridge asset potential, possibly really thinking about it for ourselves, increasing demand in remittances. If you guys know what that is, for anybody who has to send any kind of value to their family members across borders, well, things like XRP and XLM are going to be helping in a major way. And again, remember, each and every one of these projects have their own infrastructure that's going to be connecting with ISO. So to speak, for the XLM holders, Stellar is going to be promoting its own low-cost payment and inclusion system. Stellar XLM, it already has stablecoin growth. It already has upgrades that are going to be aligning with ISO 20022's use case, all of its utilities. And you already have some recent on-chain activity that's really signaling, again, a rise in the utility, a rise in the use case of how we're going to be seeing tokenization and adoption happen in a real way between corporations. Now, to speak to the XDC holder, of course, last but not least, the network that targets trade finance and real assets. Now, I got to think about it for ourselves. There's an advancement already, and there's in the stablecoin volume. okay, which is great. You already have more and more listings that are happening, which is great as we come to the end of this year. And there's already recognition and support from enterprises with their alignment already with ISO 20022 and its workflow. That compatibility with ISO is really going to be aiding with how we're going to be tokenizing all those trade settlements that are going to be happening all around the world. What did we say previously really on this channel is that trade finance is the backbone of any country's economy. All right, let's just really keep that in mind for ourselves. So overall, for us being XRP, XLM, XDC holders, we have to think about this new development, validating how we're so utility driven, y'all. How we're so utility driven, utility cryptos really coming together in an interoperable environment. I remember when this first came about, that's what everyone knew was a key word. And now we're seeing it for ourselves because the banks are now bridging with what we understand. Competition does exist, but coexistence appears likely because we have opportunities to tie adoption and regulation. Is this clear? So guys, what I want you all to just be observant, okay? Long-term value is coming up with real-world integration. That's the key. Let me say that to you again. Long-term value, okay? What you really want to hold on to, what you really want to leave for your children's children is coming together with real-world business integration. So in full, Swift and its initiative for connectivity, for its advantages, for aligned projects, all of these, they come together. All of these projects come together. I want you all to understand that. So I appreciate you guys for listening. Please do share your perspectives below. I'd love to hear them. Please share this out. And as well, be sure that you follow us over on all of our social medias. With that being said, I'll holler at you later. Peace.